How are we doing? We ready to start? We'll just give it a minute or so to go live. I'll make a tweet and I'll open my stream manager on my phone. Where's my Twitter? 1 second. No. There we go. I've tweeted. Now stream feed. Okay, cool. I am so sorry about my neighbor who has decided to do their lawn today because it's a public holiday and it's not raining for once. So, the lawnmower in the background. Oh no, that's not even my neighbor. That's my mum, who I told I would be streaming. I thought she was rewilding that lawn. Oh, you want to rewild something and mowing? I'm gonna make fun of her later. What is she doing? Oh, Bluminic. Okay, whatever. We'll just go live. We're just gonna carry on as though there isn't a lawnmower in the background, I guess. Really sorry about that. It will end. It's not a very big lawn. I'm gonna have words with my mother after this. Alright. Why is she doing this? She knew I was streaming? We should look up, because I can make eye contact with her from where I am sitting. Look up! Okay. Whatever. We're carrying on anyway. The show must go on. Even though it hasn't for the last 2 weeks. For reasons. Anyway, if you're just joining me, welcome to my Monday solo game stream. This is only the second one I've managed to do, just because of life has happened in the last couple of weeks. It's been a whole thing. But we're here now. We're in it, and this week we're going to be playing Novel Story by Michael Elliott, also known as NotWriting or NotWriting Games on Twitter. I'm excited to play this game. I haven't read through it all the way, as is my practice with solo games. I like to be a bit surprised. I also, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen in this game, other than what I've read on the itch page. So I'm really excited to get started. And the lawn mowing is stopped. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, let's go. So this is Novel Story by Michael Elliott. Lots of information here. I'm also tagged him in the tweet about this stream, so please do check it out. Check out the game. I saw there were quite a few other games on his itch page, so do check those out as well. The game, Novel Story, is a single-player role-playing game where you detail and track the life of a novel. You'll write about the novel's early days as a manuscript through its rise in popularity, adaptations, other works of art influenced by the novel. While you write, you will play the role of a character with an existing relationship with the novel. A fan, a critic, an academic, someone who is writing about the novel's life. You'll write about it from their perspective. To play the game, simply follow the rules in the book. You'll be asked questions and get prompts to create and change details of the novel, and have opportunities to sit and reflect on what has changed. Nice. What you need to play, copy the rules, something to write with. Okay, I've got my Google Doc. 6-sided die. Again, Google provides all. Roll 1d6. See? And it can do 12s as well, because you need a 12-sided die as well. And I'm ready to keep track of the time. I'm writing this on a laptop which has a clock. So, that'll work. Safety tools. Ooh, safety tools in a single player game. Okay, that's fun. To ensure your game only contains ideas, themes, and stories that you are comfortable with, create a taste menu of things you want to include or avoid over the course of the game. Take a piece of paper or some document and create 2 columns labelled yes, no, or okay, and not okay. Record topics and themes you definitely want to see in the game. Yes, or definitely do not want to see in the game. No. For example, a novel about high fantasy, you might want to highlight immortal elves, riddle-living dragons, and magic as general themes you want to focus on or avoid. You could also highlight general topics like gore and sexual assault as things to avoid, or topics like wealth and economic differences as topics you want to include or exclude. The 2 columns don't even necessarily need to be even, they just need to include anything you feel strongly about. Feel free to review your taste menu whenever time passes in the game. You can always add or remove items as the game progresses. Just because something is in the yes column doesn't mean that it needs to be present in every chapter of the game or come up as an answer to every question. These are ideas that the story of your game can gravitate around or avoid as it's told. Okay, so I was thinking at the beginning, I was like, I'm not going to need safety tools, I know my limits, but I actually really like this as a way of deciding from the start how I engage with the game. So I'm what kind of story I want to tell. So reading through that, I want to let's just put headings in. So no column and yes column. Okay. No column I'm gonna pretty much ignore for now. Actually, I'm just going to put some things in there that I'm definitely not interested in. Yeah. Not interested in telling a story with transphobia, ableism, homophobia. And I'm not interested in talking about medical debt or no, that'll do for now. I could add stuff later. I kind of want to talk about academia. I'm kind of interested in telling the story of like a PhD candidate or something that's like focusing on particular work and like how they study which is very like to my life experience. I was an English major, so deep study of a single novel. I'm interested in cultural impact of the book. I'm interested in adaptations, especially unexpected one. Music, art, graphic novels, plays. Less interested in film and TV. Just because I think those get done to death when we talk about adaptations of books. What else am I interested in particularly? What do I want the novel to be about? I think it's going to be like a weird magical realism novel. Let's go magical realism in the novel. But I'm not interested in unreality outside of the novel. I am interested in hero worship of the author. I think that's enough to get started on. Again, really like how this, I just want to really say how I really like this as somebody who doesn't like to read games ahead of playing them, especially solo games like this. And I'm aware that's maybe an unusual thing to be like to prefer, but like that's my preference. I do really like this as a way of setting up my expectations for what I'm going to be addressing in the game and get my brain primed before I actually start playing. I think that's really, really interesting and a really good way of framing it. I almost wonder if it could be framed as something other than safety tools, but this is not a game critique pod. Thanks. This is not a review. This is me playing the game. I'm just the game design brain is never off. But really loved that. Fantastic. Let's start. Chapters and characters. The game is divided into one prologue and 4 chapters. In the prologue, you select and detail the character you are playing and why they are writing about the novel. I already sort of defined that, but I will elaborate, I guess. We will also define the novel in broad strokes, focusing on its themes, genre, plot, etc. The chapters make up the bulk of the game. These are large spans of time that describe generally what happens to the novel. And why. No, what happens to the novel. The first chapter is about who writes the novel and why. The last chapter is the novel and the story it represents in the present moment after its rise to fame, its adaptations, and as other artists use it as inspiration for their own work. The prologue and each chapter are divided into 6 characters. You'll choose or roll a d6 to randomly select one of these chapters in which you will determine what happens during that chapter. For example, in the first chapter, the author of the manuscript may be a labourer balancing a busy life at work and at home with writing their first novel. You'll be prompted with questions to further define this person. Some chapters will prompt you to change specific traits about the novel. Answer these using the perspective of the character in the prologue to tell the novel's story. Okay. When you have finished answering the questions that come with the last character of the 4th chapter, the game is over. Okay. I think I get it. Ooh, there's more reading. Okay. Time and rest. After you complete each chapter, you are encouraged to reflect on what has happened so far. You'll be presented with a table where you can select a span of time or roll 1d6 to select one at random. These represent the time that elapses between chapters in the novel's life. They could be anywhere from months to years to decades. When time passes, you'll rest and reflect on the story so far. Short spans of time will encourage you to rest for a few seconds or minutes. Long spans of time will encourage you to rest for multiple minutes. Okay. Use this time to take a break from the game, reflect on what has happened, or speculate what you think may happen in the future. Listen to some music, go for a walk, or just sit in silence. You can rest for longer if you'd like, or just skip the rest time altogether if you're excited about where the story is heading. You can also spend this rest time to revisit your taste menu and make changes or additions as you like. Traits. Your novel has different traits that help you keep track of its specific details like plot and characters, and more general characteristics like its genre and tone. You'll define these traits in the prologue of the game and change them as the game continues and you answer questions associated with the different people involved in the novel's life. Sometimes the game will tell you to change a specific trait in a specific way. Feel free to create new traits if you'd like, or ignore certain traits you aren't interested in. Maybe you want to keep track of the novel's primary publisher or the primary cover art associated with the novel. Maybe the tone of the novel isn't something you're interested in dwelling on during the game. Change traits as you see fit. The game will assume the novel has these following traits: genre, broadly what the novel is about; theme, specific ideas communicated by the novel; tone, the overall feeling or emotion evoked by the writing; plot, the protagonist antagonist conflict and how the novel ends; and title, the name of the novel. Okay. I think this is where we actually get started. So, prologue. To start the game, we need to outline what the novel is about, select at least 2 traits from each category below, or roll a d12 to select each at random. Write these down. At this point, you may have an idea of what the plot of the novel is. If that's the case, write a very brief, no more than 5-sentence summary of the story answering these questions. What is the novel about? Who is the main character? Who is the antagonist? What is the central conflict? How does it end? Okay, that's fun. Let's roll. So 2d12 3 times. Okay, so let's do this. A 1 and a 6. It is a science fiction. It's science fiction for children. I love that. Okay. So, genre. It's fiction. Children. Okay, that's fun. It's a bit different to what I was expecting, but I love it. Theme. Let's roll these again. Well, that's unlikely, but sure. 1, loss, and 6, politics. It's a political. Sorry, I'm just thinking of like writing political science fiction for children. And then I remembered that the Star Wars prequels exist. So, you know what? It can be done. Theme. Loss and politics. Sure. Okay, 2. Tone. Roll. 3 and 8. Tragic. Okay. And grim. So this is a tragic, grim, science fiction story for, children. Science fiction politics story about loss for children. It did say roll twice, right? At least 2 traits from each category below. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I can see why somebody would be studying this academically, because this is just wild. So what was it? It's 3 and 8, so it's tragic and grim. Okay, that's right. I can certainly see how somebody would decide to, like, write about this academically. What a novel. That's fun. Before you begin playing, detail the character you will be role-playing as you write the story of this novel. Each character has a different way of remembering and celebrating the novel, different reasons for loving it, different criticisms, etc. Roll 1d6 to select a character at random or pick one from the list below. Detail their life and answer the questions associated. Oh, I didn't answer those questions. Well, I don't know yet. Let's work on that, actually. What is the novel about? Who is the main character? Who is the antagonist? I don't know how I literally rolled the prequels, but I did. I rolled the fucking Star Wars prequels. I'm in love. I'm gonna try so hard not to make this actually Star Wars, because I watched like 3 hours of the Book of Boba Fett yesterday, so I'm gonna be trying so hard to not make Star Wars. Okay, so novel questions. What is it about? Who is the main character? Who is the antagonist? Is the central conflict? How does it end? Okay. This is so fun. I love this. I'm going to use this table to decide what I'm going to write for NaNoWriMo. Alright. What is it about? Well, I mean, like, thematically, right? It's about loss and politics. What does that mean? The main character is obviously a child, because it's a book for children. So the main character is a young child. An alien? Yes. An alien child. Oh my god, what if I made this story about baby Superman? Not but like, not literally Superman, but like, okay, I've got this. A child refugee from, alien planet whose life is defined by the loss of their people and the surrounding their existence on Earth. I think it's going to be a middle grade novel, not for children. I think it's going to be like 11, 12-year-olds. The child is around 11 in terms of human mind development, though by their species planet had shorter years and they insist they are 30. Well, some politics. So it's about refugee status, dealing with an unimaginable level of loss. The people who politicize not politicize, who benefit from political debates over whether it is right to save lives. It's like, this is gonna we went tragic and grim, and I'm going really, really tragic and really, really grim, so bear with me. This is gonna be fucked up. Who is the antagonist? Who is the antagonist? I think the antagonist is... I think the antagonist is a politician. I think the antagonist is an older white man Just like your generic on the law who is building a platform specifically around saying the main character no, that's too much like ableism. I don't want to do that. A main character that the main character no, specifically around saying if Earth had using the child as an example for why it is imperative that humans colonize space. Imperialist bullshit. What is the central conflict? I think the central conflict is this that the main character trying find joy in their life while constantly reminded of the horrors they've been through and the politicization of their existence. How does it end? I think it's going to end with it's going to have a happy ending. I think it's going to end on like the alien child holding hands with another child on a swing set looking up at the moon. I have a very clear picture of the ending and like not very much else. I'm just gonna italicize these so I can see what the questions are. Nah. Okay. Oh, central conflict. Because there's like this book's gonna be political, but I don't know that it's gonna. I don't know that children are gonna read it politically until it's read politically by my character, but I don't think that it's read politically necessarily by the children who love it. I think it's more. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Okay. My character, I decided was going to be a student already, so my character. Writing an extensive essay about the novel. Excuse me. Meh. By choice. They are a postgraduate student personally interested in the story. And interested in its political statements and handling of the heavy topics. Particularly with regard to the audience, children. What class is this for? This is for a postgraduate degree. So let's say it's like a master's dissertation. In English. Who is the teacher? I think the teacher is less a teacher and more a supervisor, an academic supervisor. A respected lecturer with who is very much part of the academic institution of the university. I think I want to draw parallels between... No, I don't. Okay. What is the student's first opinion of the novel? I think the student hated the novel as a child. Gained a grudging respect in hindsight. And now is fascinated by its existence. Now I have a couple of things I want to check because I have an idea about who my character is. Okay. So, listener, watcher, viewer of this live stream, I have a proposition. My proposition is that this novel is based on a true story. And is the subject, and my character is the subject of the novel, but one degree removed. Like, the alien is a different type of alien or something like that, or the politicization was, like, not as public in real life or something like that. Like, subtle enough that this person recognizes it as a story about them, but also but not everybody would recognize it. So I think, like, the character in the book is, like, more alien looking than the character that I'm playing. This is where we're at. This is where I'm at. This is where we're at. Alright. Now, let's start. Okay, chapter 1. The first chapter of the novel's life is about its creation. Roll 1d6 to get a creator from the list below or select one you like. Spend some time imagining this person and why they wrote the story. If you don't know the details of the story yet, use the personality of this creator to help you flesh those out. Change the details or traits of the novel if you think they fit this creator better. Then answer the questions associated with the creator. Alright. So the options are labourer, the tired and overworked daydreamer, starving artist, or is passionate, poor and desperate, the layabout, well-off, secure and writing as an idle fantasy. I don't think I want to do that one. Academic, well-read and esoteric. I don't think I want to do that one either. Politician. No, I don't think I will. No. Or author, a professional writer who has done all this already. Okay, I'm torn between author, starving artist, and labourer. So I'm going to roll a d6. But instead of including the middle three options, I'm going to be 1 or 2 is the labourer, 3 or 4 is the artist, 5 or 6 is the author. So let's roll a d6. 3. So that is the starving artist. Okay. So starving artist. Passionate, poor and desperate. What mediums do they create in? I think this person is a webcomic writer and artist. And this is their first novel. Normally they write for adults. What does their family think of them? I think the family loves them, but does not have the means to support their work, and thinks it's a bit of a fool's daydream to try and make a living from art. Why is this their last chance to make it? What is this? I think they're not. Oh, yeah, I know. It's their last month as a on a writing scholarship at university. After this, they'll need a day job to get by, and they know they won't have the energy to also create. Okay. I think that's the end of that chapter. Yes. Okay. So, instead of rolling for time past, oh no, I will roll for time past, but instead of using the rest time that's listed here, I'm going to just go and get my water bottle from my bedroom and come back. So, it's a D6 roll. 2. Okay, several months. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back and I have hydration, so it'll be easier to read now. Let's start chapter 2. The novel is about to find its audience, but first it needs a publisher to take the novel from a manuscript to something people can find on bookshelves. Roll 1d6 to get publisher or pick one that looks interesting to you. Then answer the questions associated with the publisher. Okay, I'll do the same thing again where I just read through these all and then decide. 1. Corporate suit. A greedy and eloquent liar. What tantalizing deal do they offer? What are their secret plans? Who do they work for? How did they meet the creator? Indie company. Genuine and enthusiastic. Why do they want to publish the novel? What can they offer that isn't money? Which trait is reinforced with their input? An acquaintance. A friendly professional. I don't think I'm going to do that one again. Again, I think that's not relevant to the story I've told so far. A relative, again, no. A scam artist, a deceptive con artist with an ulterior motive. Why is their offer so convincing? What special deals or opportunities do they promise? When is the scam revealed and what traits change? No, I don't think so. The friend, a patient and critical companion. Ooh. I wanted to go corporate suit. I want this to be a complete sellout of a novel. Like, not that the novel is a sellout, but I want the way it's adapted in the future to be a bit sellout. So let's go for corporate suit. So the publisher. Corporate suit. No, bear. What tantalizing deal do they offer? See, I have an idea for this one already. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Oh, right, that's why. Yeah, got it. I have an idea for this. It's an alpha, big advance, and a multiple book contract. That the author would have been a fool to say no to. The book is now a series, a franchise. What are their secret plans? They recognize the alien character as the next as a great way of selling toys. This toys and spin-offs. Who knows where you can go from here? Kids love Spay. Who do they work for? Just a corporation, a faceless publishing corporation owned by a media giant that rhymes with Gizme. How did they meet the creator? The normal way. Well, the traditional way. The author's work was fished out of a slush pile mile high. mile high after being submitted to company after company after company for months. In the meantime, yeah, I will write that. In the meantime, the author has had to take on a minimum wage job and is extremely depressed. Okay. That was easy. Let's roll a d6 again. 2. 2 years. Okay. I'm just going to sit here for a little while. Drink my water. I do like these built-in breaks. They're great for... They're really good as a streamer as well. Just like, here's a bit where you're supposed to take your drink of water. Here's a bit where you're supposed to go to the bathroom. Fantastic idea. Love it. Chapter 3. So 2 years pass. And it's about to be adapted into another medium. Roll 1d6 to get a new creator, or pick one that looks interesting to you. Then answer the questions associated with the creator. Oh, I think I've already set this one up, right? So there's filmmaker, video game company, series producer, multimedia corporation, indie artist, or original publisher. I think it's original publisher. This is a series. Okay, so the original publisher comes back to it. Back for the next book in the series. What is their offer? Even more money and fame. Enough that the author can write full time. This is an unrealistic offer, but, you know, living my dream here. What trait can now be reinforced? The science fiction trait is enforced. The books change. The future books... Hang on. Yeah, and add a trait to reflect the sequels. Okay. The future books are focused much more on the child as a superpowered individual than as a child who has experienced hardship. Add a trait. What were the traits again? Let's have a wee look. I don't want to look at the genre. Let's look at theme. Coming of age. Yeah, okay, we're going to add the coming of age trait. And I just want to do a little, before I carry on, I'm going to just do a little brief side cut back to our student, right? Upon recognizing the authors to write the subsequent novels and the life of poverty that they escaped, decides to shift their focus in their essay from a piece about the exploitation of real life tragic stories to the tragedy of art co-opted by, yes, same fault, same time, Socrates. Tragedy of art co-opted by media, by corporation, and the way human, I think human is right, a deeply human novel was turned into sensationalist crap. The also in spare time begin to reread the first novel with a new perspective. Chapter 4. I need to do a time passes roll. Okay. Roll. Another 2. 20 years. So I guess this is I sort of set up a really specific time frame when I did this. So the student is a mature student in their early 30s. Much time has passed since the novel's height of popularity. It has become so ubiquitous that many different independent creators and academics are picking it apart and discovering exciting new things. Roll 1d6 to get a new creator, or pick one that looks interesting to you, then answer the questions associated with the creator. Musician, a solo artist or member of a larger band. A poet, a lone author with beautiful prose. An essayist, an insightful academic. A painter, a popular and eccentric. Indie game designer. They have a unique take on the novel. A new author. They were inspired and want to try writing another novel. In their research, the student finds the author's private social media and on a whim requests to follow along with a message. The message explains who they are and why they have sought out the artist. On their page, the request is approved. On the author's page, they share art done by fans of the novel. A painting catches the student's eye. The artist was inspired by the theme of, what was it? Loss that was included in the original novel. One Piece, a small painting is the most popular. There are a surprising number of people who read the first novel outside of its place in the series and take the novel as the tragedy and hope that it is. The painting is of the main character looking up at sitting on the swings alone, looking up not at the Earth's moon, but at their planet of origin. Looking at it, there makes no mention no the graduate distinction. The popularity of the mass-marketed series is not affected at all. But the student and the author slowly become lifelong friends. The painting that moved the student so much is gifted to them, and they hang it on their wall. Somewhere visible for the rest of their life. I think what's really, really interesting here is with this game, because I think this is the end, right? I know, when you're finished answering questions associated with the character, the game is over. Sit and reflect on the novel and the story you've told. Go for a walk, listen to music. Imagine how your character would finish their story about the novel. What traits keep coming up over and over? What do they think of the author, the adaptations, the later works that reference the novel? What were their favourite moments? I think I've answered these things because I really, at this point, no. Okay, so at this point, I was like, oh damn, this story is gonna be tragic and grim at this end now too. Okay, fuck. And then this happened and I was like, oh, I'm angry. And then this happened. And I started getting like really into the mind of the student. And like, you can tell here where I stopped just answering the questions and started like actually writing, which is really fun. Ooh. Oh, this game is really good. This game is really, really good. And I shit you not, when I say that I'm going to use that like trait generator for NaNoWriMo, I'm not entirely being facetious about that. I might. That's a really fun way of generating a novel plot. What a... Oh, it's a really short stream, but this game was really lovely. I really love the work. I really love it. I genuinely do. Oh, that's so good. Let's go rate it. My collections. Novel story. Copy that. Close, and then I'm going to add this as a comment as well. because reviews are not visible to the public, just to the author. So just know that when you're rating a game on itch and you have a lot to say, write a comment so that other people can read it. But yeah, nice and short stream today. I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Go pick this game up. You may already own it. It was included in a bundle recently. The TTRPG's Reproductive Rights. That's where I picked it up. There are community copies available. No, there are not community copies available right now. But if you buy a copy, somebody else will get a community copy. So that's great. Yeah, what a fantastic game. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you all again tomorrow for The Sims, which is what I do every other day. All right. Have a good one. Talk to you all later. Bye. Actually, I don't know how long it's going to take to stop